This episode was the Zoro showcase. We finally got to see Zoro be the badass notorious swordsman that we know him to be. Zoro faced 100+ bounty hunters in this episode, including numbered members of the Baroque works, and just made fools out of all of them. He also had a killer line in this episode when he said to number 8, "Are you sure you only need one gravestone?" referencing the fact that he's about to kill all 100 of these bounty hunters by himself. And he essentially did. Like, he destroyed them. He was defeating them sneakily. He was going up in their faces and like slicing them up. Zoro was on one in this episode, and it was so cool to get to see Zoro actually showcase how badass he really is, because I don't think we've got to see it too much so far in this series. You know, he always gets like, it always feels like he doesn't get to quite show off what he can do, but in this episode he 100% did. He destroyed all these people. He made it look easy. Maybe that's more indicative of the Baroque works specifically not being as powerful as it seems, at least not these members, not the lower ranks. But just getting to see Zoro actually like do what he does was really cool. There was another really badass moment in this episode where Miss Monday, essentially, it looks like she crushes Zoro's head with her fist, and then the next shot is Zoro holding her head and then crushing it, just in like a test of strength. And Zoro is strong as fuck, clearly. I don't know. Again, this was just an episode that would just showcase how cool Zoro actually is, and I loved it. Zoro beat these guys up so bad that they thought that the 30 million berry bounty was a mistake. It wasn't actually for Luffy. It was meant to be for Zoro. I mean, if that doesn't say enough, then I don't know what does. Also, you got to think, a lot of these members had guns, like shotguns, pistols, all that sort of stuff, and Zoro, just with 3 swords, managed to destroy them like it was nothing. Like, the dude's insane. A bit of a side note as well, Miss Wednesday, or as her real name is Vivi, which we learn later, has a pet called Karoo, and it reminds me a lot of a chocobo from Final Fantasy. That just makes me happy. Basically, that's it about that point. Besides Zoro being absolutely awesome in this episode, there was a few more reveals, and that's the fact that Nami was awake the whole time. You know, she's so clever, she's smart, she was just looking for treasure. You know, she tricked them into thinking she was unconscious, and then she went snooping around for treasure, and she didn't actually find anything. But what she did find was perhaps even more valuable and interesting, because after Zoro finished defeating all of the Baroque works, 2 stronger members showed up, number 5 and Miss Valentine. I don't really get how the naming convention works with the Weekend and Miss Wednesday and Miss Valentine, how exactly that works in terms of strength, but apparently the lower number you have, the stronger you are. So, you know, number 5 is the strongest we've seen so far for sure. But it's revealed that these 2 were sent out by the leader of the Baroque works to kill a couple of betrayers, people that knew the secret of the Baroque work, of the leader of the Baroque works, because the whole organization is based on mystery. And they say anybody that knows any sort of details or secrets of the boss is a sin worthy of death. And that's what's happening now. So the 2 characters that up to this point we've known as Mr. 8 and Mrs. Wednesday are actually called Igarum and Vivi, and they're both from a kingdom called Alabasta. And they've been working undercover in the Baroque works to try and uncover the secrets of the boss, and they've clearly learned something that the boss ain't too happy about. So, you know, they've actually been betrayers of the Baroque works this whole time. They have not been working for them. And Vivi is a princess of Alabasta, and Igarum is their head of security, or like the head captain. So like I said, this Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine have been sent out by the leader to assassinate them because they know too much. So there's a lot of inner workings going on about the Baroque works that we don't know yet. What is up with the leader? Why are they so mysterious? Why does it work under such intense secrecy to the point where if you know any details about it, it's worthy of death? You know, there's got to be something crazy going on. And why these 2 working so hard to try and uncover these secrets if they know it can lead to death? You know, what's happened with Alabasta? Maybe the leader of Baroque works is doing something to Alabasta, their kingdom, that's making them need to do something like this to save it, or it could be something like that. But as we know in One Piece, everybody has a reason for doing something. Everybody has a motivation, a dream, a goal to achieve, every single character. So these 2 are definitely not just doing this for no reason. Something is happening back home that is making them risk their lives in working for Baroque works and trying to uncover the secrets. I guess these are all questions that will be answered in the future. What does Igarum and Vivi know? Are we going to learn about it? I hope so. I'm very interested to see what that's all about. But this episode was awesome. I loved seeing Zoro just destroy everybody. I thought that was great. And this whole mystery with the Baroque works is extremely intriguing. And Alabasta, I'm excited to get into it even more. So yeah, that was an awesome episode. I'm very excited to watch more.